Hey everybody, welcome in Blue Raider Nation and welcome into our final edition of our spring sports show as we come to you from the friendly confines of the Boulevard here on the corner of East Main and Middle Tennessee Boulevard. And in our final installment today, we'll be talking Blue Raider track and field as well as get a football update following the spring semester. And we'll start out with track and field, and Keith Vroman, head track and field coach, is here. Also with us today, Carmelo Cannizzaro is here. And guys, first of all, welcome in. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
This is a huge, busy week for track and field all across the country. If you want to, if you are a follower of track, just start flipping through Twitter feeds, track and field Facebook accounts, things like that. Conference championship meets are all coming up this week, and the Conference USA Championship is going to be right here. So, talk about what your week is like this week, preparing not only your team, but preparing to host the biggest event of the year in track and field in Conference USA.
There's a lot of things going on with this morning TV production, having a meeting with them, trying to get all that set up, where they're going to be, the camera feeds, all that stuff, how we're going to get wires over the track because we don't have anything underneath, go underneath, so we have to go over and making sure everything's clean and ready to go. Hurdles are all in place, steeplechase barriers are ready, water pits holding water, all that fun stuff. Yeah,
all the fun stuff, exactly. In this, I mean, do you have a checklist that you hope you get all the big stuff taken care of today and tomorrow that will allow you kind of to fine tune things on Wednesday and Thursday?
Yep, the checklist is. We've already been going this morning, but got the checklist in the office. Got the office cleaned up. Everything's organized, ready to go right now. Got to kind of be prepared a little bit ahead of time because there's always going to be different stuff going on with getting the timing company in and then getting the boards up for results display and all that stuff around. And so they're going to start setting up tomorrow, TV productions on Wednesday and Thursday, and so they're going to need stuff as we go through this week. So
who's doing TV this week?
It's the Middle Tennessee group is.
So they're coming out to do that, and it will be on ESPN Plus this weekend.
It'll be on ESPN Plus Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
All 3 days.
Yes, sir.
So you can go on and find that. Now, you talk about the timing company that comes in. This is way more sophisticated than me, trying to time something on my watch. So talk about what that is and how high level we're talking about here.
Well, the company we're bringing in is from Tennessee, John Ferguson with Delta Timing, and they've been timing the SEC championships the last couple years. Kentucky has they're hosting the SEC, so the timing company that does the Tennessee High School State meet, it has contract with Kentucky, so John won't be timing SECs. Certain schools have certain contracts with these timing companies, and so John's coming in he's been down to LSU. He was at University of Michigan all winter, hosting their indoor track meets, and so we've got a lot of display boards trying to put on a show. Gotcha.
We're going to pick up on that just in a little bit and some more of the details of that. Want to make sure we give a proper introduction to Carmelo Cannizzaro. So, Carmelo, you and I were talking a little bit before we got started. Tell people, and kind of pull that up a little bit closer there, about where you are from on this wonderful planet of ours, and how you ended up here at Middle Tennessee.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Carmelo. I'm from Italy, from the south. It's an island called Sicily. I came here 4 years ago, thanks to Coach Vroman, who recruited me. I don't know how he found me, but
he did.
We did a video call. We started talking a little bit. And then I decided to come here because my dream was to, first of all, to train and at the same time take a degree. Here in the US, it's easier. Second of all, I love Kenyans. My dream was to go train in Kenya. This school was basically a Kenyan school. Third of all, another of my dream was to get sponsored by Nike, and this school was sponsored by Nike. So I said, okay, I guess that's the school. And my favorite color is blue. This school is called, everything is blue, Blue Raiders. So that's why I chose this school. Now I've been here for 4 years, just graduated, and ready to get done this season stronger than I can.
No, it's really interesting that during the span of the 5 weeks of this show that we do, we've had about 9 or 10 student athletes on during that period of time, and 2 of the 9 or 10 have been from Sicily. You and a women's tennis player.
Alessia.
Alessandra. So that's pretty unique, and we were talking before. Sicily, people think, that you're both from Sicily, you obviously know each other. You did not know each other because you were from different sides of the island of Sicily.
Yep.
And have you struck up a friendship and talk about home some since you've been here and since she's been here?
Yeah, we just had breakfast this morning together.
Oh, really?
I made new friendship. Even though we are on the other side of the world, it's nice to see people from the same country. I think it's crazy. The world is not that big after all, I guess.
Yep. And your home country has obviously been in the news a lot in the last month with the death of Pope Francis and now the naming of the new Pope, Pope Leo, who grew up in Chicago. So does it? And I think Rome has come off in such a beautiful light because it is the eternal city. And does it kind of make you proud that your home country and Rome have garnered such? They've been in the middle of the news for a month.
Yeah, of course I'm proud to be Italian. It's nice when I talk here with people, everybody knows the Italian food. People that have been there say it's beautiful country. So, of course, I'm proud to be Italian. These 4 years here is not been easy because, of course, I miss home, family and everything. But I made it, so now I'm thinking to go back, maybe taking a master's degree back home. But I don't know, maybe eventually I will be back here too, so still need to figure that out.
Well, the Pope has dual citizenship. You might be able to work that out too.
Yeah, we'll see.
Keith, he said he didn't know how you found him. So tell us how you did find Carmelo and how important a piece he has been in your distance program.
It was a recruiting agent in the United States, another Italian guy who's actually he was the interpreter when Carmelo and I first talked, because Carmelo couldn't speak very good English when we first talked. So I had a guy that was helping me. And Carmelo had good grades and had some of the attributes I look for in good student athletes, academics and athletic ability. And Carmelo knows when I first recruited him, I didn't think he was quite ready for Middle Tennessee yet, but I thought he could develop. And, right now he's top 10 in the region. They take top 12 to NCAA championship. So in a couple weeks, we'll find that out. But
yeah.
He's developed quite well over the last 4 years.
Yeah, and has come along all the way. He's part of your cross-country team that made an appearance in the NCAA regionals. This year, you guys have been extremely strong in distance and cross-country. You had Alan Kiplagat, who was the fastest freshman in the country this year during cross-country season. How does that bode for you guys in the distances going into this week in the conference championships?
Well, we put on a pretty good show indoor and plan on doing that again outdoor. We have a strong group of guys with Alan, with Carmelo, with Brian Kiptu, and McDonald Songok, who was freshman of the year indoor, and Juan's been running well. The whole group has, and Jacinto and Sammy Sang, we'll see. We've got a good group of about 8 guys in Wilbur Hawley as well. In the distance events, that should do pretty well. John Sherman in the sprints is ranked one of the top guys in the region. One of the top guys in Conference USA, should put on a pretty good show. So,
how much it does having this event on your home track? Does the familiarity of it, not really having to change your daily routine, you sleep in your own beds, that kind of thing. How are you looking at that this week? Because it's been a while since we've hosted this event, and it's I guess it's always better to be at home.
Yeah, in 2021 when we hosted, we put on a pretty good show that year. The women won the conference championship. It's great for the student athletes. They can sleep in their own bed, eat their own food. For the coaching staff, I don't know if it's quite that easy, trying to make sure everything's going smooth. Lots of work to do at the track meet. We've got a pretty good event team this year. Hopefully it takes a little bit of the burden off of me, and I get to sleep too, but we'll find out.
Yeah, well, as a disciple of Dean Hayes, you're kind of one of those, okay, just let me do it kind of guys, because that's the way Coach Hayes was, and everybody looked to him. But when you talk about your event team, and so kind of give some shout outs there of folks who will be coming in and what they'll be doing as far as administering the events, and how much and how much of it is outside people as opposed to, like, basically, I know the conference office will do certain parts of it themselves, but as far as administering the events, that outside group will be doing a lot of that.
Yeah, so Daryl Simpson is the one who's really been in charge, and then you've got Diane Turnham, who's done a lot of work with our secretary Sarah Dahl, trying to organize hotel rooms and food and tents and porta potties, and timing company again, John Ferguson with Delta Timing. He's got a lot of setup to do, a lot of stuff to do, and then you've got the tent company, event specialists that we use, setting up tents for each team, clerking area, and all that stuff, and then TV production has a lot of work to do as well. Yeah. So trying to put all the pieces together and have Zoom meetings and conference calls to try to put everything together.
Daily, hourly, that kind of thing. Now, besides the track, the Dean Hayes Track and Soccer Stadium, which is a terrific venue. It's very well lit for the night events, which the 3 nights are going to be fantastic. Sunday night is off the charts good. If you like athletics at all, Sunday night at 6 o'clock, when all the sprint finals, I mean, it's just one after another, sprints, hurdles, relays, all coming up on Sunday night. If you're a sports fan at all and you have a true love for athletics, it's something you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I mean, Conference USA is pretty loaded with some of the top athletes in the country. It's going to be a pretty good show between all of us banging it out.
Okay, let's handicap the league. Who are some other schools besides Middle that are going to challenge for the outdoor titles, men and women, and who are some top individuals from around the league that folks might want to make sure, if they're looking at the schedule, I want to be out there to see this guy or this gal do certain things?
Yeah, Liberty men and women are pretty tough. Kennesaw State won the men's indoor title and will be going after it again. Then UTEP has some of the top sprinters in the country. Again, and on the track on Sunday night, that 6 to 9, you'll see some of the top athletes in the NCAA and pretty much all the events on the track that day. So you'll see, there's lots of talent in Conference USA. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, Carmelo, kind of pick back up. We talked kind of about your background a little bit. Let's talk about your athletic life and what got you into distance running. You said you always had a thought about going to Kenya and you were those guys, you wanted to compete against them. How did you initially get into distance running?
So I started running in middle school for some meets at school. I did a cross country race. I finished third, and then my Italian coach saw me. He said, "Hey, I think you should try running." I say, "Okay, let's try." So when I started, I did everything: long jump, high jump for the first year. But you could see that my main event was distance. Like around the 1K is the one where I will perform better. And then my Italian coach, he was training 2 professional athletes in steeplechase. So he's the one who introduced me in steeplechase, which is now my main event. Yeah, I mean, it's been now 10 years of running, 6 at home with my Italian coach, the last 4 here with Coach Vroman. And I think I've been developing year after year. So I'm still confident that I can still improve. And my dream is to be an Olympian. Sometimes it looks too hard, but then sometimes I say like, okay, maybe I can do it. So my goal for the next few years is to keep trying. I think I can do it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and were there many indoor facilities that you were able to run in growing up? Because there seem to be a few more here.
Yeah, no, I would say, I mean, in the US there are better facilities. In Italy we only have 2 indoor track.
Yeah.
Even outdoor track, the closest one to my home is 1 hour driving. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's been amazing that I can just walk 100 meters and go do my workouts. So yeah, I mean, facility-wise and gears and everything, I'm blessed that I was able to be here for 4 years.
Now you said you started in middle school. Now, was most of your track work was it related to your middle school and high school, or was it with a sports club?
Yeah, it was a sports club. Just the first few races were for a school, but it's quite different than here. Like we don't run from school, but we have private clubs. And my Italian coach is the one who ran my Italian clubs. So yeah, I was just running for my clubs.
Now you've been in the past 3 outdoor meets. You've set new personal best across 3 different events. You've set PRs, personal records in the 1500, which you did that in 3:45.72. The 3,000 meter steeplechase, which is 8 minutes 39.39 seconds, and the 5,000 meter run at 14.27.65. There's something to be said for peaking at the right time, and you seem to be peaking at the right time with the conference meet coming up this weekend.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's thanks to Coach Vroman, workouts and training. I think I'm in the best shape of my life right now. So it's good that they're happen. Since this week we have conference and then I have regional in 2 weeks, trying to punch a ticket for national. So yeah, I just need to keep the work and trying to stay healthy. I think I can make it.
Good deal. Well, we're going to be cheering for you for sure this weekend, you and all your teammates. And Keith, one of the things that's kind of a little bit of a mystery to me in track is the difference in indoor and outdoor. And some teams perform better indoors, some teams perform better outdoor. Why is that?
Well, at Middle we have an indoor facility, which puts us above a lot of other schools in Conference USA that don't have indoor facilities to train in. So I think some of it has to do with weather in Tennessee and having an indoor facility to be able to train and do our hard workouts on the indoor track. I think that benefits anybody that has an indoor facility to be able to compete at the indoor championships. And then, if you're in Miami and you are training indoor, you still get to train outdoors, so your training still goes smooth and stuff like that. But if you're in the north and you're trying to train in cold weather, I mean, in Tennessee it's not the best weather in January, February, try to do good, strong workouts. So some of it's dependent on what you have facility-wise to try to compete at those championships during an indoor and outdoor. And then indoor is set up a little bit more distance running friendly, where outdoors set up for bigger squads, bigger roster size schools that have more people
Now,
to cover 22 events.
now that being said, with how many people on your roster will you be taking into the conference tournament this weekend or conference meet this weekend?
We don't always do it, but pretty much everybody that's on the roster, since we're home, not traveling, will get to compete this weekend. Usually our regular conference championship where we travel, it's about 20 men and 20 women, which we're allowed to have 32, but we always look at it as if you're in the top 18 in the conference championship, you get to travel. And so that's basically depends on what number you are going into the conference championships.
Now, as far as strategy going into a meet, because it's all about getting points and getting them and trying to, because at the end of the week, whoever has the most points is going to end up winning being the title of conference champions. Now, we've seen people manipulate things by just throwing tons of people at certain events just to gain points. They might get, 7th, 9th, and 10th, and they had 3 people in an event where, another school might only have 1 in that event. So, are there schools, not naming names, who try to manipulate it by just simply throwing numbers at it?
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're allowed to travel with 32, and there's some events that are weaker than others, and if you have the bodies and you just got to be top 8, those opportunities exist.
Yeah. So in what events does that typically happen? Is that more in distance or more in sprints?
Well, in Conference USA, like I say, it's very challenging. On the track, it's not really those. It's more the field events, the throwing events, the jumping events aren't as strong in Conference USA, aren't national level strength in those events. So those are the easier events to throw bodies at and score, the multi events and some of the jumping events and stuff like that.
Well, as long as I can remember, we've never at Middle done a ton with like pole vaulters, things like that. But we've had plenty of javelin throwers and weight throwers, things like that. But somebody can almost, they could come in and might only have the only 3 pole vaulters in the entire meet and get all the points.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how that plays out. If you were looking at the schedule here it is this week. It all starts Friday morning with the decathlon and heptathlon. Decathlon for the men, heptathlon for the women. What are some highlights you see on the Friday schedule, first of all, if folks wanted to come out? And by the way, $20 gets you a full weekend pass to come out and watch.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting weekend. You got the long jump and the running events on Friday night. Long jump starts at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, and then the running events, again, you'll see some national caliber from 6 to 10 p.m. basically. And then Saturday night, we've got Middle Tennessee's got some of the top steeplechasers in the country. That'll be some real good events on Saturday night.
And those will go off at about 8:30. The steeplechase events.
And that's a final event, so that'll only be on Saturday night. So that's a good one. Then, like I say, it's Sunday all night, 6 to 9. That'll be a real good show.
6 to 9 will be a terrific show. Field event finals are going to be Saturday afternoon around 3 o'clock. So if you're a fan of the shot put, pole vault, high jump, that all happens on Saturday afternoon. And again, it will be on ESPN Plus all weekend. Our own production folks are doing all that. And Keith has a long checklist of a ton of things that are going to be going on. How many volunteers are going to be here to help put this event on?
Well, we have about 50 volunteers and 46 officials, so about 100 people.
Gotcha. So that's what it takes to put on a big event. Carmelo, let's talk about your strategy this week. You're a steeplechaser. What are the things that are the biggest challenges, and what do you see as the biggest opportunities for you this week?
Well, I would say my main goal is to defend my title from last year. I won the 3,000 meter steeplechase, but this year is kind of harder because I have some strong other people. I mean, many of them are from my team, so I don't really care. But of course, I would like to win. Then I'm also ranked second in the 1500s, so I will try to do my best, maybe get a medal or another win. So yeah, I mean, just help the team as much as I can. Conference is more for the team than individual, and then my individual goal is to make national, so that's the main one.
Well, good. I wish you all the best of luck personally for your own. Set some more personal records this week, okay?
I'll try.
And also, you guys look forward to you all winning a conference championship or two this weekend. That'd be awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Keith, and not only is this event a big event on the Dean Hayes track, next week Spring Fling will be here. And how does that, I mean, everybody, every high school track kid from Mountain City to Memphis, they want to end up on the MTSU track Memorial Day weekend. And that's got to be a positive for your program.
Yeah, it's gone well for us. Like I said, John Sherman, local guy, made the Olympics, one of the top guys in the country. He'll be competing for us this weekend. He'll be here, and we signed a couple more Tennessee kids for next year that have competed on our track. And in the recruiting process, that's, they like coming to MTSU to compete at the TSSAA, and so we try to talk to them and get them to come to MTSU.
Good deal. Well, good luck this week on all your preparation, and then once it all starts on Friday, good luck, and you guys all the best for claiming a couple of championships. That'd be awesome.
All right. Thank you, Chip.
Appreciate it. Keith Vroman, track coach at Middle Tennessee, and Carmelo Cannizzaro. Watch him in the distance events. We're going to let you guys go, and Coach Derek Mason and Brian Stewart, the defensive coordinator, are going to join me while they come up. We'll give you a little look ahead at the schedule this week. Baseball, Tuesday night on the road, final non-conference game of the year at Tennessee Tech, and the Blue Raider baseball team's got some momentum going after a sweep this past weekend of Sam Houston, and then the Blue Raiders will wind things up in the regular season Thursday, Friday, Saturday down in North Georgia as they take on Kennesaw. That will be Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday as this time they have, because of being the last weekend of this regular season, they move it up and go Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dick Palmer will have all of that available on the Blue Raider Network and on WGNS. And as we just heard, track and field will be hosting the Conference USA outdoor meet this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And tickets, full meet pass for 3 days, $20. If you want to go to any single day, it is $10, and you can get those through the Blue Raider ticket office. And by the magic of television, we now have Coach Derek Mason to my right, your left, Coach Brian Stewart to my left, your right, and we will get this cranked up. So here we are. What is today, the 11th or 12th of May?
Right.
What is Derek Mason's schedule like today?
Right now we're getting ready for summer. We've done a good job through the recruiting process of being able to somewhat solidify our rosters. I mean, there's still a couple of spots, for a couple of guys, and we're weighing between a couple of different players at those positions. But right now, as graduation has just occurred, I'm sitting down with my coordinators.
Brian Stewart, defensive coordinator, is here today, and Stu, your Dodgers have gotten Mookie Betts back healthy. Are you a happy guy now?
Oh yeah, they played well. As a matter of fact, they were in Arizona. I wish I would have had a chance to see them, but yeah, they did a good job. I think they went 2-1 in Arizona.
And I think Mookie hit a home run yesterday.
Yes, he did.
So he's a big Dodger guy, so I have to ask him about that all the time. How's your spring been? Obviously, there are new pieces coming together on the defensive side of the football. And that's always, in football, you're always a work in progress somewhere along the way. So talk a little bit about where you were, where we are now, and how that process has been.
Okay, right now the assistant coaches are on the road recruiting. So this is spring recruiting, and what they're doing is they're building a list, getting a chance to get in front of some of the kids, especially locally, that we want to talk to, we want to visit with, and get them to camps, and so we can evaluate them. What I'm doing is I'm staying back. I went through all the cut-ups from spring football. Our GAs and analysts are back. This morning, we went through an interview process with them where they went and talked to me about our G4. G is our front and our nickel front, and then cover 4 is our coverage. So we kind of went through that, and then we talked about how we can get it better, how we could get the cut-ups better, how we could get the what we present to the players as far as paper better. Because right now, this is a TikTok society. You know, these kids all love TikTok. So if you have something that's more than 30 seconds, you're going to lose their interest. Mm-hmm. And then some of our scouting report was a little more than 30 seconds, especially just 1 or 2 pages. And they want to flip through it. So we're just fine-tuning that and keeping those guys in. We have a new guy that's a local guy that's here that's working with us. That's going to be a GA. So with him coming in, I want to make sure that he's up to speed. So spend a lot of time with him in the mornings, and then kind of after I give him a direction, then he goes ahead after lunch and then shows me what he's done.
Well, one of the things you're talking about is that when spring ball was over, that does not mean spring ball has been over for you guys, because you're going back and you're
100%
reanalyzing everything. When the final game of the regular season was over with, you all were reanalyzing everything that you were doing from last fall. What do you feel like the biggest priorities on your side of the ball are from last year to this upcoming season when we kick it off against Austin Peay?
Well, first and foremost, it's just attention to detail. I think first it starts with us, coaches, and then it trickles down to the players. You know, players make plays, but we got to make sure we put them in position to do that. So I think that we did a good job with that. 1, bringing in some players that can make some plays. 2, taking the playbook. Now we've all been here a year, so there's no excuses to dissect it. You know, one of the things that I talked to Coach Mace about is we're going to go from worst to first. I thought we were weren't a great defense. I thought we were one of the worst defenses, and we're going to be one of the best defenses. And that started December 1st. Mm-hmm. And our work has been from December 1st till now. That's what we've been working on, worst to first. And so we're working hard at that. Our coaches are doing a great job. I thought spring ball, we upgraded our second level as far as backers, and we upgraded our secondary. You know, we have a lot of returners up front that were coming back that played well. That some guys, Shaq, I thought he did a great job. I thought Bynum did a great job, and we didn't know a lot about them until the season came. And so we're counting on those guys to mature more. And so we're excited about the guys we got defensively.
Yep, and you as a head coach,
right,
with a defensive background, obviously you're digesting all of this as well. As he mentioned, from December 1st on, what do you feel like has been the biggest need, and what have been the biggest wins that you've had since then?
If you look at it, the biggest wins we had were in, talent retention and talent acquisition. If you want to be a better team, okay, you have to, keep good talent in house, and you have to acquire. With the hiring of, Dana Marquez, in the GM role, we had to quickly figure out exactly what we wanted to do and how we were going to build this team. There were guys who had production who we didn't know about a year ago. And those guys had to come in, sit down. Let's talk about how they see this program, along with how we see them within the program. And then you have to sit down and just talk about value. I think their value was in production. When you have productive players, I think players believe nowadays that it's all about, their value. Well, value is about production, okay, and where you've been. And if you don't have that, what other value do you bring to the table? Mm-hmm. Who are you? How do you work? What does it look like? We needed an off season to be able to look at this team, right? And I thought spring was a great evaluation of where we wanted to go. We didn't make it about the schemes. We made it less about the X's and O's and more about, okay, who do we have on our roster? Mm-hmm. physical talents and attributes. How do those things show up? How can we deploy these physical attributes within schemes that allow them to be best self, right? And as we look at any good football team, you know who you are, you know who you aren't. You're not making it up, okay, man? You provide guide rails around it so that these guys can play fast, they can play tough, they can play intelligent, and that's the type of ball that's going to, help us win, right? It's going to be a physical style of ball that gives us a chance to sort of impose our will. It's a team that's going to keep coming at you, and then we can't beat ourselves. We saw that in the spring. I thought it was a clear sort of picture for me in terms of being able to evaluate this team, top to bottom, whether we're talking about the oldest player being Nick Vattiato, whether we're talking about the offensive line and defensive lines in terms of where they were, special teams, with the departure of a couple of players, where are we with special teams? How do we kick? How do we snap? What were our op times? There was a lot of evaluation going on, but I think it all led us like somewhere, right?
Right.
You have to start with sort of this roadmap of okay, who are you? Where do you want to go? Okay, and how do we get there? And then, man, you start to pack the truck to see, how far we can take this down the road. And that's where we are. Summer's going to be good.
Well, I mean, and Stu talked about it. It all started December 1st.
Right.
And I love your words from time to time. And you talk about talent acquisition.
Yeah.
And it starts in December with what you call the draft.
That's right.
Which is the December signing period.
That's right.
And free agency.
Correct.
Which is what is your word for the portal.
Correct.
And you told me something about the December signing class that really just floored me in that because if you go the calendar back a year,
right,
you had a signing class about 5 days after you got the job.
Right.
And then and that was, you were trying to pull together whatever you could at that point. You said that this year's December signing class of high school talent, you had been in the living room of every one of those guys.
Every one of those guys had seen them in camp.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal getting to know them, getting to know their parents, their stories, because that's how you build culture. Like when you look at it, the high school class is always going to be the foundation of what you do. So you want retention, right? As much as you can have, because when players play well nowadays, there's this opportunity to go. But what we did was we sat in homes, we developed relationships, and those players, for those who came in December, it was good to see those guys. Those guys knew us, we knew them. These guys coming in June 1st, they know us, we know them. There's nothing that we have to make up. Okay, it's not new. It's just this idea of continuing this relationship, and relationships matter in the game we play.
Yeah, and then you come with the portal openings,
right?
And you've had 2 of those since the end of the season, and it is amazing how it can change the makeup of your team. And I think one thing that is easily seen when you look at the current roster as it is and people who came out to the spring showcase is that you all have to order larger uniforms because this is going to be a much bigger football team.
Yeah.
That obviously did not happen by accident.
It didn't happen by accident. So. We felt like we weren't as big as we needed to be. Definitely needed to upgrade experience as well as overall football IQ and talent on the field, and I think we did that. But again, it was a well thought out process. I thought guys spent a lot of time. We spent a lot of time in the room saying no, right? And I think you have to, right? A lot of
sometimes
people
that's
hard.
Yes.
It's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard, especially when you're trying to acquire talent, and so is everybody else. That's right. But after sitting down and looking at film and talking to, some of these student athletes via FaceTime before they ever stepped on our campus, we had a pretty good idea of who they were, what the value was, and how they can impact our roster. And after going through spring ball, I got to give our coaches a lot of credit, because after going through spring ball, I saw much more physicality, up front on both sides of the ball. And that's needed. You can go get skilled guys. This place has always had skilled guys. So skilled guys, to me, is not the name of the game when it comes to trying to go win a Conference USA title. It comes down to who you are up front. And bigger, stronger, faster, some of that credit too needs to go to Jimmy Blattner, because I thought with our
Yes.
in-house guys, he did a really good job of being able to move those guys from where they were to where we needed to go.
Stu, on your side of the ball, when it comes to size and speed, from where you were to where you're going to in that whole worst to first mentality that you have, what does that mean you want to see differently from size and speed in different areas on the field?
First of all, we addressed that. We said as far as the back end, starting with the corners, we wanted to be longer. So we
Boy,
got.
and did you get longer?
So we got
Holy
taller
cow.
and taller.
Yeah.
A lot of times in this game, we play against Jacksonville State Liberty, all those guys, they like to take a shot downfield. Well, you can help yourself being longer, because then now you can play those fades. So we got longer. As far as linebackers, we just need bigger guys. We needed bigger thumpers, and we got that. We got bigger thumpers. And then up front, pretty excited because we just got stronger and bigger with the guys we have. Some of the guys in-house got stronger and bigger. I'm talking about Bynum got bigger. He has to get used to his weight, but he got bigger. Look at Reggie Johnson. He did a good job getting bigger, getting stronger. So the development is there, and we're excited because we had a great spring ball, and it was noticeable. Sometimes you can get better, and it's not noticeable. We got better, and it's noticeable.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. I read an article this morning, and it was by it was an interview with another Group of 5 coach. I'm not going to name his name, and he was talking about playing defense, and he was relating the style of defense his team. He goes, and the way he put it is they had to play because the style he wanted to play they couldn't afford, and which is. How much? Either one of you guys, how much is there to that?
Well,
And what I'm
that's
talking
a
about
true
is,
statement.
and we're talking about portals.
That's a true statement. Nowadays, everybody talks about the bigger pocket, right? Okay, and what the bigger pocket does and is. I think it's twofold. Some of it is the pocket, but some of it has to do with development as well as opportunity. Some of the guys that we were able to get coming out of the portal, they had been in places where, they had either started in roles and were having the opportunity to come up, or they were like Amari Kelly, and Xavier Williams. They were guys who were at places just waiting for their shot, right? And I think you have to determine up front what's their why. Because if it's about the money, then why are you coming here? Like a lot of guys will say, no, it's not about the money, but then when you come here, they want money. We didn't have that situation. What we talked about was what we stuck with. Yep. And for us, we got players that were extremely hungry, for the opportunity to get on the field. Because for a lot of these guys, they're seeing guys make it to camps. They're seeing guys have opportunities. Yeah, don't get me wrong, the degree and chasing the degree is important. But for a lot of these guys, they want to play. They want to play, and they want to chase the dream of being able to play afterwards, right? So looking at what we lost, what we had, and the opportunity, I think it set us up to not only go get the players that we wanted, but put us in a place where guys were willing to talk less about money and more about the opportunity.
Yeah. Well, but on that side of things, it's not something that's going to go away anytime. And you guys have had 2 events here in the last few months to address that to a certain degree. One of the things that people are doing everywhere, obviously, we have golf tournaments every week, and you guys had a terrific golf tournament. But your first event, NIL event, based event, was down at Uncle Nearest.
That's right.
You had a songwriters night down there, which I think was kind of a hand in glove situation.
It was.
Where athletics and media and entertainment got together, pooled their thoughts, and brought together on a unique, very creative way to raise money, but give people an opportunity to take part in at whatever level they wanted to take part in.
Yeah, You know what? I'm not in fundraising, so I don't talk money. I tell you what I talk. I talk partnerships. I want this idea of partnerships with our community. We are in such a different place in Murfreesboro, to me, where there's a thriving business sector that has an opportunity to partner with us, and we have people that care about this place. I mean, we've got 2, 3, 4 generations of MTSU folks who have come to games, who have sat in those stands. They believe in what it is, and they're just trying to sort of have somebody define for them, okay, who we are and what we need, right? And I think that's the importance of where we are right now. In this world of athletics, if you don't define for your fan base and for your business community, like how they can help you, well, then you're leaving it to chance. We have to do a better job of really defining, okay, who we are, what we want, and really what we are. Because I look at this blue collar place. This place, Chip, you've been here a long time. You've seen a lot of good teams come through here, okay, from a lot of different sports. The common denominator is that they're all true blue. The common denominator is, it's been physical, it's been tough, it's been, a program that's been able to put out great teams, okay, with great history, okay, from the OVC to where we sit today. So really what we need to do, or what we've tried to do, is open the arms so we can talk about who we are and how do we help this community jump into these sort of barrels and buckets of being a Blue Raider that sort of enhance everything around us.
Right. One of the other parts of building blue is the actual construction of things that are happening, and as we sit here today, they're I don't know whether they've started yet today rolling out the new turf, but the old turf is gone.
Right.
I snuck in the stadium the other day just to look at it without any turf in there at all,
right,
which it looked like Mars or something out there. But
it did.
But the new turf is coming out. It's got a great design. July 30th, 9 a.m. right now is the scheduled time for the ribbon cutting of the new Student Athlete Performance Center. Those pieces of the Build Blue that are coming from idea on paper to actual brick and mortar and turf.
Yeah.
Talk about how that will affect your football program in particular, and athletes across all 17 sports here when that building opens in August?
The SAPC, or the Student Athletic Performance Center, may be one of the most dynamic buildings in Conference USA in terms of sports performance. It's not a building of just bells and whistles. It's a building where athletes will find nutrition, they'll find recovery, they'll find like an opportunity to really enhance the physical aspects of what it takes to be able to compete in their sport, as well as this full dynamic of being a learning center. So I think anytime you can put all those things together, what you create is sort of a building on campus that does what a lot of these buildings do. They teach, they innovate, okay, and as Dana would tell you, it's truly about service. How we can service our student athletes in a way that's unlike any way they've been serviced before. The only team in this conference that I think will have a facility that's comparable to it, in my opinion, is Liberty. Mm-hmm. Like, that's it. I've seen Jack State. I've been to Delaware, and Delaware's got great facilities all across the board. When I look, I truly believe, and I first saw the building or drawings of the building in 15 or 16 when I was at Vandy, right? And they rolled it out. To actually physically be able to walk through what this thing looks like, it's going to blow people's minds, right? Because it's big. It has all these elements that I think have tied our sports together, so that we can now look at this thing and not just say, okay, it's a weight room.
Yeah.
It's a training room. It's a place where we can get nutrition. Dana can talk about it more in depth, so you probably need to have Dana on at some point in time. But what I will tell you,
down with him.
But what I will tell you is that the $66.5 million is well spent.
Yeah.
Okay, it from what it can do for our general public and our business sector, to what it does for our athletes, to what it does for our coaches as well. This is something that's been 15 years in the making, in terms of how long it's taken to get there. But and I know you said July 30th, right? Mm-hmm. We need to be in the building before that. That's
the ribbon cutting.
That's
day.
great for the ribbon cutting,
That's
but
right.
for us, this is not a museum, right?
That's
this is
right.
a place that's got to function. This is a place where we got to get into and make things happen, because we kicked this thing off August 30th.
That's right. How's it going to affect your daily life?
Well, smooth. Smooth. One of the things that we got to is the players. We got the players to really buy in, to come in and get some extra help and get a chance to look at film. Well, we just had our offices. We didn't have the space. So they were in somebody's office. And now when you're in somebody's office, that person got to put away their stuff. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So the privacy wasn't there. Now we can set up the position rooms. They can go in the position rooms. They can look at the boards on the position room, what to look at, get the notes, take the notes off the board, as well as look at the film. And then a coach could come in and check on them, and we're just down the hall.
The efficiency
I get what
of
you're saying.
the efficiency
Yeah,
of
I
the
get what
student
you're saying.
athletes
It's the efficiency.
of their day is going to be. And Jamie Blatnick has got a whole new playground down there
He
that
does.
that, from my understanding, is the old weight room in the old building was pretty good size, but this one is going to be about 4 times as big as the old weight room.
Correct. When you talk about it, it's square footage wise. Dana, what's square footage on that?
20.
What's that?
20,000 square feet.
Yeah, 20,000 square feet.
That's a weight room.
We right now we're sitting in about 5,000 square foot in the current weight room footprint that we're in. Right. It's going to allow us. We used to have 3 and 4 groups go through, which elongates your day. Now we can have 2 groups. It's more efficient. It allows Jamie, it allows our other sports programs to train in a way that fits our academic schedule, since we practice in the morning.
Yeah.
And again, when you talk about efficiency, imagine this, right? When we meet as a team in Hendricks, somebody's got to go up to the 3rd and 4th floors for meetings after we meet in the
That's right.
on the 2nd floor.
That's right.
So that's 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. It really made our days and how we practice. Our meetings were shorter because we had to get 2 spaces. Guys had to go back to the locker room.
Yep.
All this efficiency will allow for us to be a team that can stay on schedule, be on schedule, and give them time back, our student athletes.
Well, and speaking of that, one of the things we're going to wrap up here in just a minute, but we've talked a lot of defense with Stu. Let's talk about putting the biscuit in the basket with the offense.
Yes.
You've got a veteran quarterback in Nick Vadiato. You have to replace 2 outstanding receivers, one who is in a couple of different rookie mini camps in Holden Willis and Omari Kelly. But what will the offense? Will there be a different look to the offense at all, or what is your vision of what you're seeing come out of Bodie's room right now?
Well, I thought it was an offense a year ago where we struggled to move the ball on 1st and 2nd down, right, consistently. I think this group is built up front, okay, man, to be a team that can run or throw.
And be ahead of the chains.
Stay ahead of the chains. I think the ability to stay ahead of the chains for this group in 2025 is a strong winning formula for success, because it allows you to manage the clock. It allows you to be a big play, explosive offense if you can run the ball, because running gives you the chance to either go tempo, okay, man, or slow it down with 4-minute football, okay, which is important. And I think we went out and really did what we tried to do a year ago. We got better in the tight end rooms, with Hunter Tipton, as you looked at it, Tavion Galloway. We just signed a young man, Josh Palmer, who I think adds some depth to that room, along with Brody Binky. Tight ends are important for us. Controlling the D gap, as well as the C gap in the run game, as well as in pass protection, and opening the middle of the field for the quarterback, essential. Outside, we went and got playmakers outside.
You wouldn't got one guy who's like an East Nashville house. He's a tall and skinny out of Michigan. Marion, that dude.
Marion Walker.
Yeah.
Hey, I tell you what, he looks like a real. He looks like, Amari looked like when he came like last year. Everybody looked at Amari. Can this guy really play? And all you saw him do was run by folks, run around folks.
Score touchdowns.
Amari has some of the same skill set, right? But so does Najee Cox. I think we saw some of that in the spring. Najee has the ability to take the top off the defense. I understand what Miles Butler can do for us because he's the move the chains guy. He's the everyday, Jimmy and Joe, man, who can make big play or little play. AJ Jones, in terms of what he brings to the table. I thought Gamarian Carter got better. So I think we have more receiver depth outside, more than we had a year ago. I think you're going to see more players, and that's not even tapping into the high school talent that'll be here and try to make a name for themselves as they step in.
How do you see Conference USA and your feel for it today as opposed to a year ago?
Much better, right? I think our midweek schedule is much better too.
Oh, no question. You actually play on the same day every week. That's nice.
Well, and schedule is important.
Yeah.
For me, it was new. I'll be honest, I played midweek games. Last time I saw midweek games was in the MAC conference, and that was a long time ago. For me and our staff, the preparation piece of having Wednesday be our designated days for games, I think it allows everybody within our organization to sort of get entrenched with what we need to do, how to adjust it, how to go into it, and how to come out of it now. So I think we're better prepared in year two, especially since it's on the same day of being able to sort of navigate the midseason schedule the way we need to.
Yep, and the non-conference schedule is still it is a tough non-conference schedule. Two tough road games. You got a local rival in Austin Peay. You've got a former conference rival in Marshall coming in for homecoming, and then as you mentioned, the Conference USA schedule flows a little better this year as you go through it. But everybody in this league has a lot of the similar issues, similar good things that go their way. It's one thing about it though. It is fun, exciting football that people are going to be able to see week in, week out.
It really is. I mean, when you go back and you look at the conference, people at the top of the conference has changed in the last 5 years, right? I mean, it's been somebody different. Chasing that thing top to bottom. The way I see it is it's wide open for anybody. The teams who have been healthy, the teams who have been able to run the football, the teams who have been able to play consistent defense and good special teams have been the ones who've stood at the top. So hopefully that's this Blue Raider squad because we built it that way.
Yep. To wrap this thing up, you're coming up on a month of camps. Or how much that spreads up, a lot of June, but the month of June pretty much is camp month. How much of that is planting the seeds in recruiting and also being there as well to help young players develop their talent?
We have a robust, in high school.
And camps are different today than they were 10 years ago.
They are.
Yeah.
We're staying in our footprint. We still believe high school recruiting, is really how we're going to build and keep our program, thriving. But for us, just looking at Rutherford County, looking at what we've done this spring, we've been able to get out, invite them in because we're going to take young men that we see. I believe our eyes. And the only way that we can take players is to be able to visually evaluate. We've talked to high school coaches about it. If their kids don't come, it's hard for us to recruit them. So don't tell me in October and December about a young man that we should have had a chance to see. I look forward to it. Our coaches do as well. Our camps are going to be heavily attended, and they're going to be competitive, so we look forward to it.
Stu, you look forward to camp too?
All the time.
All the time.
Yes.
Seeing those young guys?
Yes.
Get them out there. Thanks for coming. I always love spending time with you. We have great conversation. We kind of veer off the track every once in a while when you and I get together, but that's fun. And appreciate your time today, buddy. And
you're the best.
Glad spring went good for you. And getting ready for some hot August days to get ready.
I'm getting ready. We're getting ready. Let's go blue.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. I want to thank everybody who's been part of our spring sports show this year. None the less important than Matt Posey and his crew from Athletic Communications.
Yes, sir. Posey in the house.
Who have put all this together. So for all of those folks, we want to thank you all for being with us. And don't forget, be loud, be proud, be blue.